We're now in conversation with Mr. Cherukara of VST Tillers to talk more about the company as well as, what's the outlook for the segments that the company operates in. Let's deep dive and get into, some of the questions about sales as well as how the company performed in Q1 and what's the demand scenario going forward as well. Mr. Cherukara, good morning and thank you so much for joining us today, sir. I just
Good
wanted to
morning.
get started, because our last conversation was after our Q4. So let me just start with Q1 first. We saw Q1 was affected for most companies since, we had, the election period as well, and that was affecting demand scenario. Your revenue was down about 22% for the Q1, as well as, profits were down about 31%. Talk to us on what led to this particular fall in Q1 and how has demand transpired going into Q2?
Yes, in Q1 we had a dip. It was mainly driven by the previous monsoon causing trouble across India in terms of both distribution and timing. However, the monsoon has played out normally in Q2, and this has led to definitely a revival, positive sentiment, and we expect going forward also this will be favorable in H2 as well. So overall, I think the situation has turned positive. That will be seen in that has already been seen in Q2, and that will be seen in Q3 and Q4 as well.
Now, Mr. Cherukara, I know you might be in a silent period, so you won't be able to talk much on numbers for Q2. I just want to talk about the sales picture, though. You do report that on the first of every month, and for September, we have seen that the numbers have come in around 2,500 odd units, both for the power tillers as well as the tractors included. Now, that is lower compared to the same time last year. Is that majorly affected due to the Shraddh period as well, or is that something that doesn't impact the company in the segment it operates in, or what led to this particular fall?
I think the consumption is about beginning, and as I've said before, we operate on a consumption model using TOC supply chain model. So I think with the festivities starting, I think things are looking up. The inquiries are good. The demand is good. So in September, we didn't see the consumption really pick up, but as the festival season is kicked in and the monsoon being normal, the positive sentiments that I spoke about. So the demand is good. We expect the consumption to pick up in October and November.
Now, the last time we spoke, sir, you did mention about, the tractor segment specifically. Let me start with that segment. Now, lower horsepower, actually both the tractor segments haven't done well much in H1, but the scenario for H2 is very different from the first half of the year. We've also seen good monsoons, as you spoke about. How are you seeing the tractor segment specifically in low horsepower is where you operate in? How are you seeing the demand scenario there? And what is the export picture for this product as well?
Yeah, in the lower horsepower, there are two segments typically. One is the utility tractor segment below 30 horsepower, and there is also the four-wheel drive compact segment, which goes into specific horticultural applications. So predominantly, we have seen a flat trend in terms of less than 30 HP, slight positivity in terms of the utility tractor segment, but the four-wheel drive compact segment has largely remained flat. However, going forward with the monsoon playing out and in key markets where this is used, where in the monsoon has been above normal, namely Maharashtra, Gujarat, we expect in Q3, Q4, the lower HP should do better in these markets. So this will be a positive trend for the second half. Globally, if you talk about smaller HP tractors and especially compact tractors, it is an unpredictable situation today. While there is a trend of the rate cycles coming down or the interest rates coming down, however, there is an unpredictable geopolitical situation which will actually be the cause of concern for the industry.
I just want to take forward the point that you mentioned, because we have seen the western region of India do very well for tractors, and that's something that's reflected in numbers of the bigger horsepower players as well that operate in that segment, while the players that are operating largely in North India have seen demand moderation. For you specifically, can you just talk to us about, we know that you operate in the lower horsepower region, but could you talk to us what's the split between, somewhere like within India, which regions are you targeting more, and what's the current, range that you could give us, something which for FY24, if that's okay, for the Western region? Because that market has been very booming in the last 3 to 4 months, despite being on the lower side compared to last year. So just talk us through your geographic expansion and range within the lower horsepower tractor segment in India.
So as I said before, the lower HP segment has largely remained flat, but in H2 we expect that to improve. However, the company has also entered into the larger horsepower space with VST Tillers, and with the production getting ramped up, we are expanding into the northern market in India as well, where we were completely absent. So this should give us growth in the second half in the higher HP segment as well.